As you know, I hate my mother. I'm very open about this. But one of my sisters, I'm not going to say which one, just, a little bit of privacy, has had mental health issues that at times have rendered her needing to be in a facility for a little bit. And she's currently out and doing life good. She's not happy, but she's alive, step one. And why I bring this up is my whore mother. Last time this happened, and my mother was trying to organize when she left and find her an apartment, while my sister has 2 cats. And she goes, and by the way, at the time they lived in Utah, so if you know Utah, you already know where those stories ended. She's like, oh, you told me that there's emotional emotional support animals. How do I do that? And I'm like, Mother, I told you in Utah, they don't give a shit about that. Now, this was a few years ago. I highly doubt they have changed, but they could have. The only 2 states I was aware of that did care about emotional health animals was Illinois and California, where you could rent and you could not be denied if you had a letter from a therapist or a doctor saying, my animal is an emotional support animal. There's probably other states. I'm doubting it because they always treat it like it's the lady with the peacock trying to fly. Like, yeah, there's a lot of fakers out there, and that's very infuriating, of course, as we all know. But there's probably much more who are legitimate. And I know for a fact both my sons are emotional support pets, but almost hilariously, the one I'd actually say does the most work is not certified in any manner. He reminds me to take my medicine if I don't take it by a certain time. He tells me when to use the cane. He's always there and always checking on me and making me get up so I'm not completely vegetabilized in a bed. And yeah, he has no certification. The other guy got one when we left just in case, and it's never been used. He's still a good kid, though. He just doesn't do that work. So, never mind, it's such a vague area. Like, there's a hell of a difference between a cat who reminds you of your medicine and a dog who can tell your seizures are coming. Like, but people treat it like it's all just one thing, unless you're blind. And even then, they're not great about it. Oh, that's one more thing this country needs to get its shit together on, and I'm sure in other countries it's almost non-existent. But why I brought this up was after talking about how they just want us dead, and, if you can't live on your own, like because you have an intellectual disability or you're incapacitated enough, but you're fully there mentally and intellectually, those kind of places don't allow you to have pets, even ones with the certifications. And they can deny that in most states. And I know that's happened here in Iowa to several family and friends. Mostly more the disabled, but it did happen to one who was emotional support. And it really enrages me because people say, like, oh, well, you qualify for HUD. Well, one, most landlords let HUD places just infest with fleas and urine because they want to drive you out. And once you're driven out and everybody's left, they can fix it up and make it a condo. And you can fuck off because you're too poor. That happens in LA every damn day. I've known people personally. But even if somehow that doesn't happen, they're not usually the cleanest of places, and you usually have really shit neighbors, which is so unfair because being poor doesn't mean you're a bad person, but somehow it always seems those are the people who congregate to like those apartments, etc., because they're people with mental health issues, etc., and it's not treated. So then you throw in an animal and forget about it. I know here, if I did try to take a HUD, because some houses are HUD in these small towns, And they're like $600, which sounds really nice until you remember I only get $900 a month. And $60 food stamps. So pretty piss poor, and you have to drive everywhere. But never mind, my cats could not come along unless they took mercy on me, even if they were both certified. So it's a real shit system, because it also, like, I mean, there's a lot of stories of battered women staying with their partners because shelters won't take pets. They won't even help you arrange, like, somebody to foster your pet while you're at the shelter, which is horrifying to me. Those women and pets have been through enough. Jesus Christ. There are some shelters trying to address that, but not nearly enough. I really wish people took more pity. And yes, I'm going to say pity. I mean, yeah, it should be activism, but hell, let's just call this one pity. That animals mean a lot to people like us. And in some cases, even though they've never been trained, they're actually really helpful, like Chaplin, my baby. That's one thing I want to see change very much so on a federal level.